In the worldwide protests that followed, many people are now starting to have difficult conversations with their friends about race, friends who don't look like them.
News 3 reporter Samantha German spoke with a psychiatrist on the topic of why this can be so emotional. Sam?
Yeah, good morning, Blaine and Jessica. Dr. Dion Metzger is the psychiatrist who I spoke with, and she gave some great ways on how we can navigate through these tough conversations when it comes to race and how we can do it together. She says right now in our country, there is just so much raw emotion, and with everything being out on the surface, now is the time, she says, to talk about it and address it. Here's a small portion of our interview.
How do we start these conversations? How do we share these negative experiences with our friends who don't look like us, who probably never had the same experiences that we've had, and kind of keep everything, I guess, civil? I don't want to offend anybody, and I'm sure they don't want to offend me. So where do we start?
What's starting with it is just really an open conversation. But I always say be careful in your approach. Because sometimes, because there's so much hate that's been shared with us and posted against us, that our reflex for some people is to shoot the hate back out. But I say when you're having these conversations, be very, very open and just talk from experience. Unfortunately, sometimes people get defensive when you talk about race, and it's not that we're accusing you of doing this. We're just sharing what we've been through. So I think even if you give that disclaimer, if you feel like the person you're talking to is starting to get defensive, just say, listen, I just want to share my experience with you. I just want to tell you what's going on.
And Dr. Metzger says when having these tough conversations about race, always be kind and always ask questions, because that is a way of showing empathy as well. She also says it's a pretty good idea to take breaks when it comes to social media. Also, take breaks if you feel like your conversation is getting a little too heated. More with my one-on-one with Dr. Metzger. That's coming up around 5 o'clock this evening. Live here in the city of Virginia Beach, Samantha German, News 3.